And we're here this afternoon. I'm listening to Brandon try to explain to Eloise why he's there first, even and it is fantastic. I've got the campfire. I've got 8-man team events. I've got pretty cool looking shit that Brandon's apparently working on. And we are ready to rock and or roll. I, as usual, have a full day scheduled and a day that I also scheduled a bunch of other things. I went, hey, Brad, what are you doing? Well, I've got content and coaching all day. Aren't you supposed to get about 50 different things ready for tomorrow when you fly? Yes, indeed, I am.
So when do you fly?
Tomorrow at 1.
That's plenty of time. You don't sleep. You sleep sitting up in like an old people chair, don't you?
I mean, you're not wrong, but oh yes, the Nurgle pill is about halfway done. I'm loving it, Zach. Tell Ava to get going. Uh, she was literally working. His daughter was working her magic at Gem City, uh, showing full crochet skills, and I was like, I want a pillow. Like one of these little nurglings that he was making. I go, I want a full pillow of this. I want a nurgling pillow.
Perfect.
It's gonna be fantastic. Fantastic. So before we jump in to Tournament Mojo, tell me what you're working on. Also, I'm gonna ask people if they want the fire or if they want larger Brandon. That's really the question for today. Do we want a cozy campfire or do we
I mean,
want
it's kind of cold out. Wasn't it snowing by you yesterday?
it's like wildly snowing out. It's so there's so much snow. It
I
all stuck. So
like how much snow? I
like
haven't, mind you,
there's
I haven't seen snow in a year and a half.
well, maybe you should have something happen bad to your butt because we had so much snow.
Happy Halloween.
Eloise, your vote does not count on this. You are biased completely. You cannot keep your the judges have voted on the fact that you are definitely bought off by one of the contestants. We saw an envelope switch hands.
Eloise, what I do need to know is, do you want me to keep these old bases or do you want me to get rid of them?
What's wrong with the old bases?
Eloise doesn't like them, so we're swapping to new ones.
But why? Tell me why she doesn't like him.
She, so the army is predominantly black and blue, and the bases that she did for the army was when she affectionately told me is when she reached her fuck it point. So there's a lot of blue on them, and she just doesn't like the way they look because it's too much blue.
Okay.
So we're gonna we have I made her up some marble themed gold bases um, that her retributors are gonna go on, and we'll touch up the paint too while we're at it.
So what do we got here? What am I looking at?
You're looking at 12 retributors because Eloise has to build 2 more heavy flamers and another sergeant, and I'm going to be removing them from their bases, touching up any damage on the black armor, and putting them on the new bases I made for her last week.
Man, I wish it was going to nice. I felt so bad for the trick or treaters last night because of oh yeah, 4 inches of snow came down.
I'm actually kind of impressed. That's a lot of snow.
And I'll be in San Diego tomorrow, so fuck this. So
Who would have guessed moving to Tennessee? You never see snow again.
weak sauce.
We did have a half inch last year, like on Christmas, and that was it. It's like Dolly Parton made that happen.
That shit is weak sauce. Did you go to the Pirate Jesus channel?
No,
Or street, sorry, channel.
no, we're saving that for you.
That whole street is bonkers, man.
We're saving that experience for you. I mean, all those dinner and the shows have the same exact menu too, by the
I mean, why not?
way. Like, there's like one difference between each one. It's the weirdest thing. And they're making another one. They're making a mermaid one. Mermaids and sky pirates.
Why not? You know what? Eloise, he's going to sell them, but now he's going to sell them as slightly used bases.
I'm not selling these bases.
Ooh, give them to me.
You need an army first.
Yeah, yeah. So we have to talk about what I'm eventually going to play for LVO because I want a cool display board. So I want to know what I should play. What's coming? Well, obviously, I'm not playing Atmec.
I think you should play Admech.
There's no chance of playing. So Admech's coming out. Necrons are coming out. Is there anything that's going to make will Dark Angels be out before
Doubtful.
LVO?
Doubtful.
Because I wouldn't mind playing Dark Angels. Also,
Well, you figure it's already November, Brad. So I would be surprised if Admech comes out before and is allowed at LVO.
I wouldn't because I think that you're going to get a codex like right now, basically soon.
Well, they were just super weird about like allowing new rules last year.
Yeah, but 2 years ago they weren't. You know what I mean? 2 years ago they let everything in at the last second, and then last year they wouldn't let anything in. You know what I mean? So
It was very strange.
yeah. So who knows what they're gonna do? To be perfectly honest with you, let me see those bases though.
All right, which ones? The new ones or the old ones?
Oh, both actually.
Okay. So I'm trying to get on camera. All right. So here's one of the new ones. So want to do like a marble color scheme with gold. It actually matches a piece of artwork that's sitting in our house, which is pretty cool. And then one of the old bases, we'll find. So it's a similar idea. Like Eloise wanted to go with like the mosaic tile thing, pattern that I have, but we use this pre-made MDF wood terrain, and she just painted it blue. But I don't know. Like it's a good start, but because it's wood, if the models fall off at all, like this one, you can see how there is damage onto the wood.
Interesting.
And one of these bases I just noticed, like there's just a giant gap. Like I think someone got hungry and just ate the edge.
They
I don't know.
Thought it was a cookie. Eloise, did you start eating your bases in a time of need? Has this happened?
I mean, someone nibbled on it, or one of the models got tossed across the room. That is also a possibility.
I'm thinking about if I like the Marines. Can I take Marines to LVO is the question.
I mean, maybe if they get some points drops.
Maybe I'm going to try to win San Diego this weekend with them.
All right, I'm ready for this bet that we've been talking about.
Dude, I love the fact that the first thing I go to is a possible potential to win, and I have to win 9 games. My body's already upset. I'm not even there, and I already feel shitty for it. Like, 9 games. Oh,
That's a lot of games.
that is so many games. And I'm doing back-to-back to backers too. I've got
Eloise never breaks models, by the way. Never.
me either.
She never slams models down or slams her hands down accidentally and knocks over models. Never happened.
This is bad. Still thinking Brad mentally checks out of Marines by round 5 this weekend.
Here, I'm gonna adjust my camera.
He does it all the time to us. Brandon's like, oh, he's working on projects and he wants to show, but he doesn't want to give us the secret. So he has to be slightly off screen when he's working on it. Here's the finished product. I don't want you to see what I'm doing.
It's like those as seen on TV like specials where they just like swap out the product. It's like, oh, it's ready now.
Yeah. Well, any of those home improvement stuff, they're like, all right, step 1, take this nail, put it into this board. All right. And do that a lot, and here's a house. You're like, what? Like, what happened between now and then? He's like, I kept doing the nail in the board thing. Like, come on, I already showed it to you. I can figure it out.
People get bored, man. You got to keep it spicy and entertaining. All right.
I can't play Tau this weekend, unfortunately. I would be cheating because I sent in Marines. So, but the thing on that is, I got to figure out what I'm playing at Rumble slash uh, Battle Brothers, depending on where I go, um, depending on what's said. And
I thought
then
Rumble on the Rivers is what you've committed to.
I committed to both. Let's just figure it out. So they,
Flip a coin.
but the big thing about it is then I have to play whatever I'm handed by Horton at Du Bois.
You know it's gonna be Tyranids.
That could be.
I don't know why you're treating it like it's a surprise. It's probably gonna be Tyranids.
I love it. 8-man team tournament means someone needs a Jaguar on their team. I love that your team legitimately said you're not allowed to do that anymore in the middle of the tournament at Gem City. They're like, no, bad sack, back in the corner.
I think it's funny. I think you should keep going.
I loved it.
I'm ready for the Lyle versus Jaguar matchup.
Oh, it's a mask off.
I don't know what Lyle's going to dress up as. We need Zach to make that commitment.
Oh, Jesus. Fucking Matt saying he's trying to bribe Horton for the triple toxic green list. My God. I'm not going to lie. I did have a lot of fun just showing up and not knowing what my list was going to be. It was kind of cool. And I'm going to do it again. So that was a good time. And Brant gave me a bunch of shit on this. A couple people did. Because I'm not going to the World Championships. Because I'm going to the one where it costs me almost nothing. And
will be infinitely more fun, probably.
And I'm just going to hang out. Well, I can only do so much. You know what I mean? It's also a big strain that I'm going to a couple events in a row. It's probably a terrible idea to do this for my body. But I can only do so many games and stuff. And the thing is at Du Bois, I can play a game, not play a game, and then play again. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. And just chill. Yeah, I can't do that if I go to the championships. And that's a big deal. But I do enjoy playing. I like where the meta's at right now. I do think CSM's wildly tough, by the way. I might play them at fucking Rumble. That list is nuts. Brad, let me cosplay as you go to Worlds for you. I think you might be taller than me on your knees, though. I was about to say you have to go on your knees the whole time, but I still think you're taller than me.
He is like 7'2".
True story.
The literal definition of Bigfoot.
Yes, there's only blurry pictures. Mike. Never seen in the wild. But
I want to talk about these team tournaments.
I do
That's
too.
all we'll talk about.
Let's rock these up. We've got multiples too. So let's.
Did you know about this before this announcement was made?
I did not.
You did not. Okay. So I mean, it just seemed to come out of nowhere, right?
I'm not in the loop.
Like they made an announcement a couple months back. ATC is like, oh, we're going to do, our ATC league. And it was going to be like 4 events leading up to the ATC. And then now there's this grand thing with like 10 events planned for next year that are all like 5 and 8 person teams. It's like people have been listening to you, Brad. How does that make you feel?
Fantastic. Because in the end, I was always right, except for when I'm wrong. So, but I like 8-mans quite a bit. It is tougher, obviously, to get a team together, and it's also logistically tougher for the event coordinators. But I love it from a tactical aspect. It's so fun. And you also get people playing wildly different shit. Like you can almost always figure out the top 4 at least, and then that 5th list is a little bit of a wild card.
Yeah.
When you go down to 8-man teams, there's a lot of strategy that goes into that because you start making like literal anti top 4 faction lists. You know what I mean? You're like, hey, what does this list do? It just beats GSC. It just beats this, whatever. So I love the strategy in the pairings and team composition of an 8-man event. It changes things dramatically on what you can bring, but I also think that it opens it up to more people because a lot of people are faction specialists on things. You know what I mean? And an 8-man team, those people get to shine because you're always going to have the 4/5 big baddies. And then those last 3, 4 lists are what really makes your team. And you can get those faction specialists in there doing their thing in that. You know what I mean? Because at that point, it's not about just taking the best thing. It's taking the person that fits the best thing on your team as opposed to just taking the best for the best list. You know what I mean?
So what? So I know there was a lot of interest on all the Death or Glory channels on Discord and on Facebook and everything. So what is the process? I know like you guys had started chatting about how would you make a determination for a team to go to California because we're only allowed to have one team. But when there's
No, we can have two there. But I think they're going to expand it, California wise. I think California is going to expand it, and I think that the ATC, I'm looking at their announcement right now.
that one's just limited to 32 teams, I believe.
Yeah. It's March 1st through the 3rd. I'll be there for sure. And this one is going to be down by you, correct?
Yep. Let's see, Chattanooga. Well, I think it's going to be at the mall where Dice Head Games is, and all the games we played in like a mall environment.
So, the thing is cool is they're doing it back. So they've got the March 8-man, and then they've got the usual July
5-man.
It's a huge deal on that, Austin. I do that all the time, Austin. I'm a getting thrown into the bus defender. I love it. But that's also my play style. You have to have people that fit into those roles. It's so big. And
So my concern, like I noticed the cost, like it's $1,000 for 8 people. I just don't know where that money's going because it's being held at a mall.
well, it takes a lot. I mean, you got to figure that it's $1.25 a person on that, so it's not that far outside of anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you could go to an event at like a resort that's not a mall. I just think it's a little pricey for that particular one.
Where is it?
It's at Cleveland, Tennessee. Well, I don't think they've actually released the address yet. Like if it's anywhere else than the mall, I'll be like, okay. If it's at the mall, got some feelings about that. So does Brad. That's Brad's favorite tournament ever.
I can't stand that place. That was also the P Hotel, so no.
Yep. It's right next door. It's still there.
God, that place sucks. How does no one burnt that place down yet?
I think they just keep selling it to new people, and then they do like a slight revision to it.
And then they go pee on everything.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm excited for new team tournament opportunities, but I want to make sure that they get enough people to actually go, and I think at that price point it might be a little expensive for a lot of people to say, hey, let's just rock together $1,000 right before the holidays to get a ticket.
I like it. Let's look at BFS. BFS also has their team tournament, making it an 8-player team. And that one is, what's the date on BFS?
It should be mid-April.
Oh, I'm looking at it right now. April 27th, 28th. They're doing a 2-day event. I'd love to go to both of these, to be honest with you. I don't know about it, Danny. It's just he goes, 8-man teams are going to end in some really unfortunate times when you have drops. Yes and no. I think that there's always enough people around. A lot of people like myself bring coaches also. So I think we'll have just enough people because you don't see drops of the top teams either. You know what I mean? So I think that with enough other people around, and I encourage people, by the way, to bring coaches for your team if you can, obviously. It does help quite a bit.
I would like to see a mechanism where people who may not know 8 people who want to participate in that can sign up for a
mercenary team.
A mercenary team.
100%. I don't even know why they don't have it going on already, man. You know what I mean? You can commit to just, having those teams there, just basically put it on the wall. It's big. Yeah, I mean, I've seen people lose people early, but I think that we're going to bring enough people that you'll be able to fill that out. How will DOG choose who will be on the DOG team? I don't even know. I'm just going to go. I'll start figuring out what everybody's playing.
It's just going to be Brad, and then more Brad.
Yeah.
I think DOG has a unique problem that everyone wants to play Tau. and that's just not going to happen.
Well, I mean, it'd be pretty illegal if we did that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, like I was looking at that. Like, I don't know if I'm in the running. I don't really care, but I'm like, if I were, I would not want to be playing Tau. I would want to play some other army that people don't necessarily play.
What can you play, Brandon? What does your heart tell you?
What does my heart tell me? I like playing with shenanigans.
So what is shenanigans? But exactly, Zach. Who wants to play Tau? Several people.
A lot. Everyone who's really interested in being on the DOG team plays Tau. Except for Kyle. Kyle's straight demons.
No, he's not. He's hated on demons now. How does a person try to get involved in teams they need a 1K price tag without having the other 7 people? They definitely need to put what we were talking about. They need a merc team. They need a freelance pool for sure. I mean, you could probably field 2 freelance teams, to be perfectly honest. We just do a bad job of communicating. And when I say we, I mean me, but everybody in general does. So
I mean, they 100% need a mechanism for people who are interested in the mechanic to try it out and play. Like, if that team gets last place, it doesn't matter. It's just people are interested in that, and it's a great way to meet new people.
it's also the way you get those teams started for the next time. You know what I mean? You meet those people that are interested. I've had a ton of people literally over the world that got interested in that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? You start meeting people. I guess in the US, we're the worst about it. It's like the Euros like literally get teams together in a drop of a hat. You know what I mean? Because they're just used to playing in team events. So Zach's like, and I don't want to play Tau. So yeah. And the thing is you start setting that up. So, but I definitely, I'll push him. You know what I mean? I'll message Shane on that. Also, I'll message Ed and see what he says with that. So
I think it's an interesting way to get people who may not know that many people. Maybe somebody's like, oh, I've heard so many good things about team tournaments, but I just don't know. Well, if you had a mercenary team, yeah, it's a great opportunity to meet new people and sign up. We had some people on Death or Glory went down to ATC and they played on a mercenary team, and that was their first exposure to the team tournament environment. I think they really enjoyed themselves.
I like it. I mean, I just like it so much more than I like, obviously. My teams is my jam. And I love 8-man teams. I think that you could probably, I don't even know if it's stretching. I really think you could have 2 mercenary teams easily at the ATC event.
Well, I think so.
Because
I mean,
there's just a lot of people. It's the same thing that Danny was pointing out. You know what I mean? It's a big investiture if you don't know if you're playing. You know what I mean? But like, it's a big deal.
I'm also curious as to what the refund period is.
I love that it's the land of the free and personal glory above all else. One sounded pretty good, the other one did not. But no, I think that they could have 2 mercenary teams for sure. You're 100% on that, Zach. But I think that if we do a bad job of communicating, and it's a real thing, like literally, because I've been involved with the European scene for a long time. The Euros literally get 8-man teams together like nothing. You know what I mean? But they're just so easy about it because they're just used to it. You know what I mean? So they have more forums that are dedicated to team stuff. They get together in teams easier. I think that we could do this much easier if we did mercs. We're so far apart is one of the big deals, though. Yeah, I mean, so that's a big deal.
Non-refundable is pretty rough, especially if there's like a medical emergency or,
That's why you have to have a stable of mercenaries then. Team is the gentleman's game of gentleman's games. Yes, like agreed, and I just love it like much more. And I've said that a million times. I'm very excited for these 8-mans.
So are you going to focus on the 5-mans with Alan, or are you going to focus on the 8-mans with?
Well, Alan might be in there too, or Alan will be in there. So it's the thing is that both, you know what I mean? It's the thing is that getting a commitment from the full 8-man is going to be tough each one. It's probably going to be a revolving door, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, 100%. Like,
It's Chattanooga,
I mean,
KR.
I mean, they have events scheduled out for 2 years now, and like I can't make a commitment 2 years from today of where I'm going to be. I'm a gypsy, remember?
That is true. You are literally in a caravan, just
Yes.
wandering around the world.
Cleveland, Tennessee is about 25 minutes north of downtown Chattanooga. It's going to be at the mall. Like I do not see a world where this event is not being held at a mall.
I don't like that. Next to another piss hotel.
But the cool part about that mall is they have a place that sells frozen margaritas. I'm okay with that.
I'm just flying into the little tiny airport, and I'm having you pick me up again.
Are you flying into Chattanooga or Knoxville?
Probably Knoxville, to be honest with you.
We'll be sitting in the car for about 45 minutes from there.
Yeah, it did.
But it's 30 minutes from the other airport, so it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't.
It's literally impossible to fly into Chattanooga. They have like 3 flights a week. You're like, that place is just ridiculous.
See, Michael's on top of things. He's correcting me. So no refunds. It's already at the mall. Yeah. I don't understand why they're charging $1,000 a team, not refundable, to have an event at the mall, but it is what it is.
I'm ready.
You ready? They should have good terrain. I think they probably do all the GW style terrain.
Everybody hates Chattanooga. Love the tournament, though. Love the tournament. I just kind of wish it was farther south, in Atlanta. I could fly there for real. Yeah. But it's the thing is that I'm pumped that we're holding 8-mans. We're at least putting it out there. I just
I hope they're successful.
I desperately hope they're successful.
I think the worst thing would be they schedule these events, they sell a handful of tickets, and they only get like 4 teams.
I can't imagine that. But like, you want them to work for them. You know what I mean? Just because I want them to continue with this.
Yeah, you want them to be successful, so there's multiple team events.
It's huge on that. I hope they do well. I would like them to have. I'm a little worried about this being in the mall thing because that mall didn't exist. So like, you want a place to stay that's cool. You want ease to get there, and you want food and things like that around you.
There are way more restaurants down there though.
In the Cleveland mall scene,
not in the mall, outside the mall. Because malls are a dying institution in the United States.
I mean, that mall died before other malls died.
When did we go there? 2011?
No, it's 2012. You know how I know that? Because I had my last open heart in 2012. And we went there right after I had open heart surgery. Because
you can roll dice with your right arm, Brad.
Jesus Christ. That's why people are like, hey, well, Brad, that 2 years ago when you went to LVO, like days after you had a major surgery, was that the worst decision you've made health-wise in 40K? I'm like, luxury. I've had so many other terrible ideas that I've done. How about open heart, get into a car and drive down for ATC?
Whoa. It wasn't like the day after your surgery. It was a solid week later.
I was like, dude, I'm still wearing a heart auger. The thing to keep your insides together when you cough. It was fucking nuts. Oh, Jesus. It was like actually a month in a couple months. It wasn't 2 months, though. It was like it was weeks, and it's the Piss Hotel. Oh, God. That place sucks so much.
Well, the good thing is there are now other hotels too, so you don't have to stay at that wonderful hotel.
Peaches, I don't really like that squad that much. It's okay, but the problem is just getting there. So, like, if you're talking about getting there, then you gotta have a transport, so it ups the points after that. So, maybe if those guys could... If you ran them like a Vanguard, maybe if it was the infiltrating unit. I don't hate it, but I just want speed in my army. Or at least the ability to redeploy kind of things.
You can put them in a drop pod.
Drop just anything that doesn't... can't even move. Movement's key. I still like Thunderwolves. Oh, Jesus Christ. I forgot about that. I'll say that. You know what? I'm going to look at that right now, Zach. Hold, please. Now I got to scroll past 40 other messages that I haven't looked at. So I'm terrible. It's a real thing. I'm not the best person to respond to things.
You not being good at responding things?
I
No.
know.
This is a fascinating conversation. I just learned something new about you, Brad.
Well, sometimes it happens. Oh man, what is this? There we go. Let's look at this list now. Whirlwind, Fenrisian Wolves, the Thunderwolf Calves, Giant Unit of Terminators, Double Infiltrator, Centurion Assault. Centurion Assault just make up Devastators. Centurion Assaults are just like meh compared to the other stuff. I already told you. I actually responded to this, did I not?
It's slightly different, probably.
Nope. Oh, I did say why the Intercessors. Intercessors are terrible. If anything, you give them a unit of Incursors to get +1 to hit. I do love the fact that you took Canis Herald and Logan. That makes me happy. So, heyo. Oh, I 100% get mad if I don't get a reply immediately. I'm a huge hypocrite. I dump these Intercessors for sure. They're trash. Dump the Intercessors.
Even for the sticky objective, you think they're still trash?
Yeah. He's got Infiltrators. Take the Infiltrators.
Yeah, you probably don't need both.
Yeah. You could take maybe one unit of Incursors, but you just need more guns. I would make the sense a Devastator sense instead of Assault sense. Get rid of all the Intercessors or make one of them an Incursor. And probably double up on the Whirlwind.
I'm still sad that drop pods can only have 10 spots.
Oh, I know, it's stupid. That's another reason I just don't like drop pods. You're like, hey man, I want to take this squad and put Timmy with it. Also, here's the thing. You know what would be super cool? If chapter masters were allowed to join more than like 2 squads. So stupid. Hey, this guy's the guy that runs everything. Oh yeah, you're allowed to join these guys that are a cappella band and these 4 guys that bake cakes. You're like, I don't want to be with them. I have a cool ability. Aggressors would also fit really well in that. DG is good. I already keep telling you that, Garrett. You don't have anybody to fight. Look at your mirror and fight yourself. It's the only person holding you back.
But don't fight that puppy.
Yeah, don't fight the puppy. So, it's big on that. All of the things, some of the time.
So can you pull up a list of all the team events that are going to be coming up?
No.
No?
BFS. BFS April 27th, 28th. The new ATC, which is the March
First, second, third.
First, second, and third. And then there's standard event, which is going to be in July, with the 5-man. And then we've, of course, got Adepticon teams in April. And then we've got... I don't know what the rest of their thing is, because they have the 5-man thing scheduled, but I don't know when those are.
Well, they have, like I said, they have a whole list of events that are coming up.
Yeah. Someone needs to help me out with that. I need adult. Somebody give me an adult, look up the 5-man events they already announced. I only have the new ones.
There's some in Canada, like there's Stud and Snotling. Actually, I think there's 2 in Canada.
Well, they have Canhammer. Canhammer is more of an Adepticon-ish thing, though. They do a lot of theme and painting in there.
And there's no, what's it called? There's no events in the Midwest.
Oh, Gem Wargaming is doing a team events in 5 months. Nice. Brad, do you rate that a Grey Hunter squad I mentioned if you're already planning to use Repulsor or Land Raider anyways? I don't know on that because I really want... Ooh. Yeah, but this is a bunch of stuff I can't read. I'd still rather have some more bang in there, I think. Ragnar makes everybody a little bit happier because he's a badass. Season 1 schedule. Ooh, army painter thing. But I can't read this. It's too small. Maybe I'll just download this and just post it. Boop, 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 boop.
Like there's a whole website that has, and there's like 10, 15 events that are posted.
Copy image. Paste. Ah, screw it. I'm just going to put it up on the screen. Image. I just downloaded. Team stuff. Browse. Downloads. Oh, tell me this download. Ping. There. That's the schedule. That's why I said I couldn't see any of this. I hope it has legs, to be honest with you. I would love that. Monica, I hope it's going to be MSU. I think they both are going to be good, to be honest with you. As far as shaping the meta, I think that there's like some really good Marine MSU lists. Look at me. See how big I made this so everybody could see it?
Hey, you can see plenty of stuff in there.
Well, tell me what it says.
All right. So you have the ATC event. You have BFS, Canhammer. I think the one in June is also in Canada. I can't read the event. Gateway Open, I thought that was a single person event, but now apparently it's moved to a team tournament. Let's see. Away Games is the one in September. That's in North Carolina. I thought they had a team tournament coming up soon as well. A 5-person team.
Which one?
Away Games in Carthage.
I don't know. I'm going to go to like a bunch of these.
Stud Snotling, and then they have one in Tampa, Florida.
I feel like there's no reason for me to go to a singles event. Look how many team events I can go to. Oh, so powerful.
Yeah, these are all next year too. So there's lots of opportunity to play in team events.
It's so good.
BCP is going to have to fix their app so you can actually use it and get scores reported.
This is the team circuit, the season 1 National Death Kung Fu Masters Punch Throat Plasma Initiation Tournament schedule. I don't know if this was the right name. It might be. Go to Gateway. I don't know what that is. Oh, the Gateway Open, the August one.
Yeah, it's in St. Louis. It's in East St. Louis.
I'm going to Gen Con this year because I haven't been to Gen Con in forever. Because Gen Con is not on the same time as WTC. Also, I might be in a Merc team this year. It's going to be awesome. All right, that's enough of that. Are we going to keep talking about this one on these dates? I think I can go to a team tournament literally every month. This makes me so happy. Ding dong.
There's a whole lot.
I didn't even know there were so many. I should breed.
Well, some of these events didn't exist before, and 2, I think some of these events went from single player to a team event.
Well, I'm going
like
to all of them.
Like Gateway Open was a single player event because Sasquatch invited me to attend.
I'm not playing at Gen Con Austin. I'm playing RPG shit. I just hang out. Okay, and going with a couple of my gaming groups. I'm pumped about this, guys. This is exciting. You know what? I might even keep this season 1 schedule and keep it right above the fire to keep it cozy and warm. Right there. Look at that. It fits perfectly.
I want to know why there's none in Chicago, New York, Michigan, Ohio. We need a Brad Chester Memorial Tournament.
The DOG's already has that up there, too. You motherfuckers. For everyone that doesn't know, these guys at a tournament I was at, and I was sitting at a table with them. There's 15, 20 of us just, at lunch, just chilling out. And they came up with the idea that we're just going to run the Brad Chester Memorial Tournament. I'm like, I'm right here, guys. They're like, yeah, but you probably won't be. So we're definitely running this event. I'm like, if I'm still alive when you run it, like, you have to show up as Chad Brester. I love it. Yeah, that is true. Kramer did smoke those guys. Kramer went to Gen Con and played in that super casual tournament and just brought like cutthroat Eldar, just murder faced people.
I've never been to Gen Con, which is surprising because it's such a popular event. And we live.
Exactly. I miss Brad. It's a shame what happened. Yeah, this is like a long conversation, by the way. And it continued on for a while. It's still going on. So I feel like there's real planning going into my memorial tournament. So
No. The best part about this tournament is you're still alive. That's and anytime it just randomly pops up, people are like, "Did Brad die?" I'm like, no, he's still alive.
I still love the idea that all the calls, everything's forwarded to Sniggs's number. Because they just assume that if they get enough phone calls asking about me, that he would actually kill me. I can't believe he had a stroke while doing the helicopter. Oh, God, I feel like Willingham's around.
Brad the helicopter Chester.
With Willingham giving a background of it for so long.
But no, I'm excited. It's good to see that. I mean, we've been talking about it since you've been on this stream about how fun team tournaments are and how important it is to try to develop, quite frankly, better WTC team. I actually think this is a push by the WTC team to try to get some more 8-person team events.
Well, it's
What
just
do you?
everybody else has it, to be honest with you. I mean, it could be. But I mean, I just don't care, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's nefarious. Cool.
No, it's not nefarious. It's just call it what it is. I mean,
Whatever the
that's what
motivation, as long as it's doing something that benefits the community, who gives a shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Team tournaments encourage people to socially interact with other players, you know what I mean? To build relationships, to make teams, you know what I mean? You meet new people, you interact with people, you have to play as a team, it makes you better. You know what I mean? It just does. You get better as a player, you get better as a person. Or at least you should do both.
And it's a blast. You can't hide from people. You have to interact with your teammates.
Yep. So it's just you excuse me, you get to really do everything that 40K is all about. You know what I mean? And I love the fact that, especially in these 8-mans, you're gonna have so many different armies out there, so many different factions. And I love everything about that.
I do hope there's a hobby component though. I know you're not a big hobby person, but I do want to see teams like the Hobby Goblins, right? Like if they put a team together and they bring, 8 absolutely beautiful armies, there should be a prize for that.
Well, I think that you should have part of that, but I also think that we need more of the tournaments that celebrate both. Canhammer, Adepticon, things of that nature. You know what I mean? I love the team aspect of having a paint score that goes into your overall score. You know what I mean?
I think it'd be pretty cool to have best general, which is obviously the desired prize, but best overall team. Like that includes paint.
I love it. I do love Playmaker. It's nefarious. They're kidnapping players at them. That's how they're getting their players. Just Black Van.
I mean, that makes way more sense. Like if someone told me that's what was happening, I'd be like, yeah, I could see that. That seems like a legit strategy.
It's going to be awesome. I really think it's going to be awesome. And I hope everybody supports it. The thing is, everyone, we should get some of the Discord. We'll get some. I think we already have. But if not, I will. When I say I mean somebody else will set up some Discord chats to get people on teams. Because I'd like to really get a ton of people into teams, especially if you haven't been in teams before. So there's tons of people that want to go. They just don't have a full team. So we can definitely build teams. You know what I mean? And get this going.
I mean, that's what we did for ATC, and we ended up having 5 teams go.
Right.
It was crazy.
But it was awesome.
And everyone had a good time.
Yes. ATC this year was fantastic.
Between the cabin, so
much fun.
The practice session beforehand, the appreciation of cows. It was fantastic.
All of it. It's just a really good time on that. So I just enjoyed it thoroughly. I always enjoy the team tournaments more than I do the singles, and it's not like I don't enjoy the singles. It's just everybody's together. It's just such a good time. So facilitating that to happen is something I might actually take part in to make sure that more people play and get to be get to be inside of. I don't really think that's the right word for it, but be involved in. How about that?
So do you think because of this new announcement that you're going to be playing in many single player events?
No,
Like, I feel like this is your dream come true.
it is. I don't. I've said for a while that if I could play only team events, I would play only team events. And if that schedule holds correct and I play a team event every single month, I don't know how many other singles events I'll play.
I mean, just budget wise, like.
Correct. I love it. If our teams ever play, I do call outs. I think my favorite pairing story of all time, besides some random call outs, is when Australia and the US both lost, and this is, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. It's when Gagne was still captain. And the Aussies, we had both lost and we were both bummed because we were X-1 or whatever. And the Aussies are like, yeah, we can't. Neither one of us can win anymore because there's undefeated like Germany and Poland. Like, how about this, Brad? You and I shuffle the decks and pair whatever comes out. I'm like, 100%. And Gagno came like diving across the table like an 80s action movie star to stop it. No! Because I was like, blam, let's just see what happens, man. Then the Aussies literally made up some drinking game, which I just think they made up the rules to get all the Americans completely smoshed. Because it just seemed like Americans Drink was the name of the game. Because whatever rules were in play, it just constantly was drinking stuff. Those guys
These are balanced strategies, though, Brad.
True story. So much true story on that.
So what do you think is the possibility that some of the European teams will come over for these events? So, I mean, obviously the Canadian team will come down, but like, do you see like Team England coming over for this?
It's I don't know, because they come over frequently though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're typically playing in single player events.
Yep, they play like a ton of singles. They come over a lot now, so I could see them. It's just getting themselves together to come at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's see what Zach sent me. Army roster: double Thunderwolf Cav, big unit of Terminators, double Infiltrator, double Inceptor. That makes me happy. 2 3-man aggressors, just make it a 6-man and put a character in it. 2 Wolfguard leaders and Thunderwolves, a Wolfguard battle leader and Terminator armor, jumping into the Logan unit, Harold and Canis. This is legit, actually. Got all the big boys in it. I wish Logan was just slightly better, to be honest with you. His once a game making everybody reroll is cool, but like, it's so situational on one time. You know what I mean? Team Poland is going to come over just to remind us our plays. They have been good like forever, by the way.
That would be hilarious. I mean, they have the vacation time. They totally could.
Oh, hell yeah. They don't know if they have the money to travel all over the world, though.
Probably not.
Those boys are good 40K players, though.
I can only imagine the cost of how much the flight would be from Poland to attend all these events. Because they're not in major metropolitan areas, like, except for BFS.
I come to Poland, yeah. I love that. The year that we went to Poland was hilarious.
When you bought an entire town's supply of Jägermeister?
Yep. Not our best showing as a team, but definitely our best showing as a party mojo. Holy God, that was a good time. Spam 2+ of power armor, guys, is my jam on that. I've never been a big guy on the Terminator bricks on that. There's literally an argument to be made for either, to be honest with you. But the thing is that you already don't have the killing power, so you need the ability to have more shenanigans. GK still has the best rules in the game. As far as movement and shenanigans, putting people in reserve, great strats. So I just want more stuff. It just feels like you can make them fairly ineffective in the Terminator bricks because they don't do enough damage for what they are. They're hard to get rid of, don't get me wrong. Like the big Paladin brick and stuff like that. But like, I'd rather just have more stuff. But that's just always my style in the first place. I would mind tournament in Denver would be easy, man. The only thing is I can't breathe. Put that city lower. Lower the city.
Yeah. Perfect strategy. I'm sure they're going to get right on that. Isn't the airport like 15 miles away from the city? I was under the impression the airport's in the middle of nowhere.
I've flown in. No, I usually fly into Aspen. I don't go into Denver.
I have never been to Denver, so if someone could comment on how getting an Uber to these kind of venues would be, I appreciate it.
Love it. I want to rock that though. I mean, like I said, weirdly enough, this would be my first trip to San Diego, even though I've been, like I said, slightly north of them 1 billion times. Yeah, your story. I didn't get fist fighting the MC for a festival.
There's a reason why Brad doesn't drink Jägermeister anymore.
What? Sometimes things happen. It's not my fault. It's the Jaeger's fault.
That's no.
100%. Take no responsibility.
You need to take some responsibility.
Fine, I stopped drinking it.
Exactly.
How about that?
I'll give you that. That is an accurate statement. And not for lack of trying, because he'll do shots of other stuff, but he will not do shots of Jägermeister.
Jaeger Brad, I put him to pasture. Guy was too wild. I'm too old now. I'm too old to be Jaeger Brad anymore. That's old stuff. That's like William Money. I don't like that anymore.
Yeah. So I just finished up putting these sisters on and touching up a little bit of their black armor. Probably help if I put it underneath the camera. I think they came out pretty well.
Brad's not dead because the God and the devil fear him. Give me a close-up of these bad boys. I'm going to make you full screen here.
They're bad girls, Brad.
Oh, whoa. Yeah. Sorry. My bad. I want a close-up. I want a walk-off here.
You want to walk off?
Yeah, like Zoolander.
I think Eloise will be pretty happy when she comes home and has new Retributors ready to go. Now we just got to paint a couple more Heavy Flamer ones and one more Sergeant. Yeah. Naughty nuns with guns. So Brad, what army should I play? Since everyone plays Tau on Death or Glory, should I like pick up a new army just for shits and giggles and consider playing that?
Yeah, why don't you play something fast? Zoom.
Yeah, but what? Because all the fast armies are the popular armies that everyone plays.
Well, let's go through the things that you have and the things that you like. You know what? I'm making a poll.
You're making a poll?
What
should Brandon focus on?
All right, give me some options here.
Well, let's see. Armies that I physically own right now is Space Marines, yes, just all the stuff. Tau, Eldar, Sisters of Battle. Those are the 4 armies. Nobody wants to play Eldar. take Custodes to the hardest level. Maybe after that FAQ comes out, that lowers some of their point costs.
Death Guard. I love the Garrett just spamming Death Guard. We'll see where this poll takes us, because this will be the end of the day. Or the end of the stream, at least. The beginning of my day.
I like how everyone's just recommending the slowest of armies. Like, just play Deathwing. You'll be all right.
I love Alston. Literally everyone is sick of Eldar. Be the Eldar guy. I actually think you would like playing Votann, by the way.
Why would I like playing Votann?
Because it's literally, you could play all the bikes and shit, be right up your alley. And you could teleport the Hearthguard around. You could be the dwarf guy.
The dwarf guy. I thought you're the dwarf guy.
I would be the dwarf guy if they were actually dwarves with cool beards and no wizards. Dr. McGillicuddy apple pie.
Yes. The cherry also isn't bad for that. I would avoid the grape though.
Grape's never good. Period. Pioneers, exactly. That's why you should play Votann. It brings you to your biker roots.
Just play an orc bike army. I don't know. I'll think about it. Actually, doing like a pre-heresy Death Guard would be kind of cool. All the new Nurgle models are terrible, so I'd probably do pre-heresy. I do have 2 boxes of 30K sitting behind me.
Nice. Votann does need an Anvil of Doom. Then I would play the.
I just infinitely like the Necromunda models for Votann instead of the Votann models. The Votann models are kind of lame.
Zach, he's totally a wizard. Space dwarf science. Boo! Boo on you, sir. The goddamn psyker.
I mean, I like the Chaos Dwarves that they have they have just epic beards and shit.
Yeah, I want old school dwarves. I want these new hipster dwarves drinking craft beers. Wizards. It's ridiculous. Soldier Anvil? No!
You got to put it into
magic
a display
is
board.
very dwarven. I love ruins. Don't like silly wizards though. And
this is why you don't get rid of your models.
Exactly.
Because
also,
you never know when they'll come back.
Also, Old World's coming back. Fantasy's coming back. I love Fantasy. It's a great game.
I just want to say I'm a bit disappointed. So they have all these new models they're coming out with, but then they're just releasing models that already came out for that. Like some of the Bretonia models are literally the old sculpts that came out.
Yeah, that's gonna win. But I still like the thing. Also, Dwarven helicopters, also cool.
I'm ready for more Tomb King stuff, so I can convert these models into my Space Marine army.
Tomb Kings were always bad.
Tomb Kings are great when you chop them up and put them on Legion of the Damned models.
That is true story. All right. Lean your hand in here and give us a Queen's Wave, and we will be on our way today. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
What are you guys playing tomorrow?
I have no idea. I should probably reach out to Sean and figure out what we're playing. So,
I was trying to get you to get a thing. KR will yell at me if not. Please like and subscribe. It really helps everything out. Gets us on the metrics. Appreciate everybody hanging out. And hopefully I come back with tales of triumph from San Diego. Or at least there'll be tales of goodness.
I expect game updates from you. I want you to reach out to me and tell me how well you're doing and how much you love Space Marines.
It's going to be on at least game 5. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.